Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about adaptations to high altitude. Adaptations means acclimatization. It describes as a chronic adaptation response by the body to allow for improved tolerance to altitude changes. It may take 12 to 14 days or several months. Within the process of acclimatization, several systems are involved in the improved tolerance and workability. At low altitudes, generally system maintain marginal biological activities. When we go to moderate altitudes, several changes may occur: decrease in partial oxygen pressure and decrease in resting saturation of oxygen from the normal rates. When we go to at high altitudes, that means more than 9,000 feet, ambient partial oxygen pressure will be decreased more and more, with resting saturation of oxygen approaching 80% and lower than that. For this, several physiological and metabolic changes will be occurred to sustain the biological system. When we when the organism exposed to when the organism is exposed to acute altitude level, several changes may be occurs. For example, decreased oxygen partial pressure, and subsequently decreased oxygen partial pressure means For the hypoxia, several adjustments will be taken. For example, cardiovascular adjustments, respiratory adjustments, metabolic adjustments, neuroendocrine adjustments. We will be seen how these adjustments will be taken subsequent slides. These adjustments are regulated mainly coming to the cardiovascular adaptations. Hypoxia has a direct effect on stimulating epinephrine production and release from the adrenal medulla, thereby increasing circulating epinephrine levels via beta adrenergic receptors. Both heart rate and stroke volume are subsequently increased. Additionally, epinephrine can contribute to local vasodilation of vascular beds, promoting increased blood flow and oxygen delivery to the tissues. Activation of both central and peripheral chemoreceptors. Chemoreceptors are cornerstone cornerstones for the regulation of the respiration. So, when the activation of chemoreceptors is occurred, this response is essential to helping to maintain the best as possible oxygen pressure in the lungs and subsequently in the atrial blood. A side effect of this increase in ventilation is reduction of the partial pressure of the carbon dioxide. Subsequently, shift of oxygen hemoglobin curve from to leftward shift will be occurred. Upon ascent to altitude, resting metabolic rate is elevated above sea levels values and can persist for the extended period of time while remaining at altitude residence. In order to avoid the negative energy balance and remain weight stable, this increase in the energy requirement must be coupled with the equal increase in the energy intake. Cachexia, that means weight loss. The weight loss mostly likely results from the combination of the increase in total energy requirement at altitude coupled with the loss of appetite, no hungriness, loss of appetite, and lower energy intake. While several mechanisms have been suggested that may contribute in part or combination to the suppression of appetite at altitude, exact cause for this observation remain to be determined. That is about short time exposure to high altitude. When we go, when the organism exposed to long time, that is called as chronic exposure. The classical adaptation associated with acclimatization to chronic at altitude exposure is increase in red blood cell numbers. Number of red blood cells are increased in the condition in the condition of when the organism exposed to high altitude for the long time. This response is a direct result of the hypoxic stimulation and is secondary to the production of erythropoietin, a hormone produced primarily by the kidneys that promotes the synthesis of new RBCs in the bone marrow. Erythropoietin and eventual RBCs number elevation will be occurred. You can see overall adaptations in this chart or in this figure. Elevation in the erythropoietin occurs, number of RBCs will be increased dramatically, exponentially. So, coming to the cardiovascular adaptations, decreased heart rate will be seen, increased vascular resistance will be seen, increased blood pressure is occurred. Coming to the respiratory adaptations, ventilatory rate is increased, shift of the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve occurred, decreased ATL pH will be seen. Coming to the metabolic adaptations, increased resting metabolic rate will be seen, will be occurred, increased lactate production, substrate selection, and decreased adrenal activity and increased sympathetic nervous system activities will be seen when the organism exposed to chronic period to the higher altitudes. Increase in RBCs coupled with the decrease in bicarbonate include a rightward shift, that is Bohr effect will be seen in this at this time. A significant elevation in the sympathetic nervous activity is observed. Alterations in the sympathoadrenal pathways also contribute to the other adjustments. In individuals that have become acclimatized to altitude, the adaptations made in oxygen carrying capacity, transport and diffusion. Adaptations were made, Adaptations are made in oxygen carrying capacity, transport and diffusion of the oxygen. And it allows for the reduced level of the exercise stress with compared to the acute altitude exposure. As a result, for a given power output, acclimatization individual will demonstrate lower sympathoadrenal responses, heart rate, cardiac output, ventilatory rate, and lactate production for a given power output when compared to values during acute exposure. Acclimatization to altitude will result in the number of adaptive responses that improve oxygen carrying capacity, transport and utilization. Specifically, increase in red blood cell volume, total blood volume, and improved oxygen delivery to muscle are documented. Changes in skeletal muscle capillary density, and mitochondrial oxidative capacity with acclimatization, while not as consistent, are possible and could result in improvements in endurance performance. It is important to note that These adaptations occur as a result of simply living at high altitudes, independent of the training stimulus. The concept of training low rates to the observation, the training at lower altitude allows an individual to exercise at the higher absolute workload and power load output the possible higher altitudes. Few disorders for your note: acute mountain sickness and high altitude pulmonary edema, high altitude cerebral edema. These are the few disorders. Thank you.